I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pull this video off. I've got my son's shovel. I'm going to dig a 6-foot hole for my shelter, and the storm's coming in tonight. It's going to be a tough one, but I'm ready for it. Also brought my 12-foot crabbing rod I'll be fishing and crabbing with, and all my gear. Got a long walk ahead of us. The forecast today is 15-mile-per-hour winds, and the swell is 5 feet. By Friday, the swell is supposed to be 11 feet and 35-mile-per-hour wind with a lot of rain. And that's kind of what I have at the forefront of my mind as I'm looking for a place to dig my shelter hole. There's no way I can dig my hole up against these dunes because I could tell at high tide the water comes up and touches them. It helps so much to walk near the water where the sand is compacted. Man, that sun is bright and I didn't bring a hat. It might be kind of hard to tell, but the sand has gotten increasingly more steep going towards the water. And because of that, the water's going to have to work a lot harder to get up the hill to reach the dunes. That spot there looks good. It's protected by the plants and it's already dug out. Wow, this spot looks even better. It's actually got a log that's about 2.5 feet. So chances are I'm going to set up camp here and use the natural resources to my advantage. I set aside today for shelter building, so I'm going to keep looking just a little bit further, and if I can't find anything, I'll set up camp here and throw out a rod. Decent supply of wood around here, and even this nice flat piece that I might use partially for my bed. Here's another nice flat one. It's got some screws coming out of it, but how about on the other side? Is it flat? Turn it the good side up so it can dry out. Wasn't expecting this, but here's a nice little stream. I could take some water from here, boil it, and have some drinking water later. Here's a good example of why I feel a little more comfortable setting up camp by the dunes. All these plants have a strong root system that goes deep, holding the sand together, preventing erosion. I don't want that hole to cave in on me and something bad happen. Look at this, here's another flat board. This is perfect. That was the plan for camp, but that spot is so exposed when the wind picks up. So upon further consideration, I think it'd be safer to dig the hole in the dunes over here. This spot is protected 360 degrees, and I don't have to dig that deep to get a good, comfortable bed. Oh man, only about a quarter way there. I wasn't sure if there was any water source at this beach, so I brought a couple water bottles. I also got this element salt so I can stay hydrated. While I continue digging, I'm going to throw out a crab snare and hopefully have a big crab for dinner tonight. I brought 4 sardines, which can fill that crab snare about 5 times. Hopefully I can catch something before the bait runs out. If it's going to rain as it is forecasted to, I need to stay off the ground or else this is just going to be a big puddle. So when I make my bed out of these boards, I'm going to have to raise it up a little bit just so there's some drainage. I think that'll work. A lot of these old boards have shrunk and expanded so many times that I'm able to twist out the screws by hand. You know, if I add one more board, this would probably get me through the night, no problem. But I'm going to be here for 2 nights, I think, so I want to be as comfortable as I can be, so I got to dig it deeper and wider. I'm just going to stop and have an avocado break. You really don't need anything, but a little salt and pepper really brings out the flavor. You guys remember that? Well, I think it's the perfect eating utensil for these avocados. All right, back to it. There's just too much current at this spot. I've got to go try somewhere else. That's more like it. I think this just might be the worst idea I've ever had, and I've had a lot of bad ones. I don't know about this. Let's go inside. Man, this has bad news written all over it. I wanted the slope to go to the back. I don't know, man. I guess we're gonna find out. That's all gonna be water later. Oh gosh, this is gonna be one uncomfortable night. As long as the tarp doesn't blow off, I think we'll survive. I mean, either way we'll survive. It'll just be really uncomfortable. Everything is so cramped. I'm gonna get so sandy when I have to crawl out there. But, I mean, it could be worse. Could be dead. Man, that wind really picked up. It's 3 o'clock now. I started building around 10, and this was the original spot I wanted to set up my camp. And honestly, I think this might be the better spot. I think if I want to stay out here for 2 nights, I'm gonna have to make another shelter because that's just not gonna cut it in the rain. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to dig out a little bit under that log right now because I don't want to be doing that in the storm tomorrow. You know, some people have commented about the kind of change of style in the video I've been making recently, but it's just the videos that I've been making before, like the rockfish, all that stuff, it just became so monotonous to me. I just needed to change it up and do something that gives me motivation and inspires me to get back out there. And this is a nice change of pace for me. I get to come out here, still fish, but explore different things and challenge myself to the max. Well, I think I just got done digging all that I need to, and I told myself if I could finish this before night, I might just move everything over here. I think it would be a whole lot more comfortable to be able to sit up like this and I don't have to worry about the whole thing collapsing on me. So what I did, I dug this hole and then I cut out this 1 foot section up here, and that's where I'm going to put the tarp. Man, this one did not turn out at all like I was hoping, so I'm going to give up on it completely. So I laid the tarp right there on the sand. Way more roomy in here, that's for sure. I'm gonna cut a few pieces of wood so I can brace this tarp. Man, I'm already feeling way better about this. Well, this feels 100 times better than that grave site over there. The sun is almost set. Only got about an hour left. This is actually nice. It's windy out there, but not even a breeze in here. That sun's going down quick, so just getting my bed set up before it gets too dark. Back at the graveyard, one good thing about this place is that there's no wind. I knew it was going to be a tough trip, so I brought the propane today. I also brought myself a well-worked-for steak. Man, that knife is dull. I gotta sharpen this. One nice thick cut of New York strip. Salt and pepper. It's a good idea to be extra careful and take your time when you're cooking on the beach. You don't want any sand getting stuck in your butter, on your meat. It's just such a pain after that. On my last camping trip, I brought a huge russet potato, and having that with basically a whole stick of butter was so good I had to bring another one. So I'm going to cut these potatoes about 1/4 inch thick. Hopefully they cook fast being so thin. It's getting cold. Gotta stay warm. By the time I'm done with the steak, hopefully these potatoes are done. Let's take a bite and see if this is cooked all the way through. Oh. Wow, that's good. And this is one of the things that was motivating me while I was trying to dig all these holes, knowing that I had this nice steak waiting for me. Oh man, that was worth the wait. One thing coming out on these camping trips, I do miss my family, especially my kids. Well, I've got another avocado, but this has satiated me quite enough, and with these potatoes, I'll be full. So I think I might just get settled in for bed. Looks like the storm is coming in. It's not quite a baked potato, it's not quite a chip, but with a little bit of butter, this will do. Man, that sun set fast and it's getting cold. I'm gonna go lay down in my sleeping bag. I think tomorrow I'm gonna add a landing to this entryway so I don't get sand all over the platform. If it starts raining, I'm afraid rain might straight come down on my head. But I think it's supposed to be clear tonight. Wind picks up to 25 miles per hour at 7 a.m. and then the rain starts. We'll see if it's true. I'm actually pretty cozy in here. This is so much better than that first hole I dug. And I plugged that hole with some wood and sand. I did the same over here. We'll assess tomorrow. Good night. Good morning. I made it through the night. I had a dream that there was a coyote coming into my shelter, but then in the dream it turned out to be 5 kittens. See how I'm all up against the sand? I gotta dig some stuff out, and I'll walk around and try to find some things to make the shelter stronger, and I'll go crabbing and try to get some lunch or dinner. The wind is really starting to pick up and the rain is going to follow right behind it. So I'm going to improve this shelter while I can. I knew the storm was coming, so I brought these waterproof pants and a waterproof jacket. This should keep me sheltered from inside myself. All right, I improved this entryway a little bit, but my whole body is so sore. I don't want to see another shovel. Man, before I can fish and try to get a crab, I'm gonna have to try to seal up this hole. The wind is coming from the south, so any rain is just gonna go straight in there. So I need to build a little piece of wood or find some type of thing to cover that. So it's a beautiful day, we might as well go for a morning stroll. I'm gonna walk into the rain for now, just so I can have it on my back later. Actually, I'll just walk backwards. It's good for your knees too, if you follow knees over toes guy for anybody who has knee problems. Who's up for some fishing? Still a beautiful day. I was a little bit worried about the 35-mile-an-hour winds and 11-foot swell coming tomorrow, but I can see that the water didn't get past these footprints, and that's only halfway up the beach, so I'll be safe where I'm at. Hey look, the sun is coming out. Oh, it's a beautiful morning. Well, I found the fishing hole. There it is. You see that dark patch of water between the white? That dark patch does not seem to be moving much like the white water behind it. That's where I'll give it a shot. So the snare isn't moving that much. I'm just gonna let it sit here and then I'll check it in 15 minutes. I'm going to go get shelter. Oh, this is nice. Nice protected from the south wind. Fingers crossed. Nothing, but at least the bait is staying still. All right, we'll give it a couple more tries. Found this nice glove. This will come in handy if I need to dig anymore. So I cleaned up this glove, and look, I never realized this. This is a left-handed glove. If you happen to find 2 left-handed gloves, you can just flip one inside out. Now, even though it's not that aesthetically pleasing, you got a right-handed glove. Tide's coming in, and there's a seal out there looking for my bait. just seaweed. So we're gonna give this a couple more tries and then we're just gonna head back. Determined to get a crab today. The beginning of the storm. It's forecasted to get way worse. I'm totally not kidding when I talk about walking backwards. A lot easier to do this than it is to do this. It's very comfortable like this. How are we looking in here? Not too bad, honestly. I thought it was gonna be way worse. But I kind of have a dilemma now. So that freshwater stream that I was thinking about getting water from, I don't know if it's contaminated or not because there's a lot of farms and I don't want to be drinking all the pesticides. I don't know if I could boil that or even filter it. I only have half of a water bottle left and that's got to get me through the night. So I can either stick it out and not eat, because if I eat, it's going to draw so much water from my body, or I could fast and not eat at all until tomorrow morning and just drink this half bottle of water. Decisions. I'm going to hang out in the shelter here for about half an hour and think about what to do. See, look, I brought a whole nother steak I was going to eat, and I brought 2 more avocados and a sweet potato, but it's just gonna that's just gonna make me too dehydrated. I'll pass the time by reading a book. I brought the Gita today. You know what the deciding factor for me was? It's because I completely forgot that today is Wednesday. I thought it was Thursday. On Thursdays, I take my 5-year-old and 9-year-old to jiu-jitsu class, and I rarely miss a Thursday. So I can eat all my food, drink all my water, and I'll be able to make it back tomorrow for their class. So I'm gonna do everything I can with them before they get old enough, and they don't want to do anything with me anymore. Well, I guess that about does it besides cleaning up the shelter. One thing I did want to mention, we're having the Fisherman's Life Street Fair this year. You can get things like this waterproof jacket, new rods, jigs, and most of it will be on sale. So check out fishermanslife.net for that. And if you want to be a vendor, you can apply there too. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great day.